So guys, I know we just got a pretty small update called the Armory. We are now eagerly awaiting operation. Guys, am I delusional for even thinking that there's still something else coming anytime soon? Like, it would make sense if there's still something else. Like operations, mission, actual stuff to do, actual content. Yes, Armory is going to be in the game for the next 5 years. I think that the next update that we get will be in 78 days when this is no longer purchasable. After 78 days, then they swap out the deagle at least for something else, in my opinion. I think we're going to get 3 new limited items. Or sorry, 2 other limited items, so 3 in total. And then at the end of that, we'll get brand new collections in the Armory. New case, new charms, maybe instead of stickers, it's agents or something. And then it'll swap every year. So like there's always an Armory to do. There's always a reason to farm stars in the background. And then on top of that, we'll probably have operations, and we'll probably have rather missions to complete in order to get rewards. I think it'll be a different thing. The operations as opposed to the Armory. The Armory feels like a long-term thingy. Armory is not an update, it's just more of items for sale. We didn't get any game content updates. This is only to shut yappers' mouths, but nothing new for the game. I think I sort of agree in saying it was sort of a distraction piece. Yes. To shut people up until they are done with the actual content. The actual the juice. To make the game better, you know? This is just something to do while we wait. Which is so much better than having nothing to do while we wait. So many people were quitting CS. I mean, there's so many people that have still quit CS, but at least now there's something to do if you come back. So, well, let's see what Gabe Fowler has to say though. Let's see the Armory.
It's been a month since the release of Armory, and despite the fact that we have an official FAQ, the community still has quite a few questions regarding this event. For example, in the game files, the Armory is still called a seasonal operation, but at the same time, the word operation was removed in the localization, and we did not see a new medal with normal missions. Thanks to a user named Sora, we were able to get an answer directly from the Valve devs. She sent an email to Gabe Newell and received a response from one of the CS2 developers.
I am a developer on CS2 and received your email via Gabe. Regarding your questions, the Desert Eagle Heat Treated is available for the duration shown on the tile in the Armory. So, as I just said, 78 days. The Armory itself is not a limited time event, and Armory passes and stars do not have an expiration date. If the contents or rules of the Armory change, then we'll announce it publicly ahead of updating the Armory. I am the developer on CS2. Okay, so it's not a limited time event itself, which in my mind makes it seem like they want to have this for the many years.
Sarah kindly agreed to show me the originals of the letters, and I can confirm the legitimacy of this information. In a nutshell, the Armory is not a temporary event and will remain in the game forever. This is a new part of the main menu that will not be removed. The only temporary part is the collectible deagle with unique patterns. They did not specify whether new items will be changed or added in the future, but this is quite obvious. The Armory is a spiritual successor of the Arms Deal update, which was added a year after the release of CSGO. So now the developers simply added a new type of monetization that makes you actually play the game, and not just buy cases on the Steam market. So
I play though, sometimes. I play a little bit.
Game map type in Source 2 tools. Generally, it's not really needed to create a new type for
maybe a
custom
couple
game
times a week.
modes. Almost everything can be implemented on normal maps using scripts, especially considering that the developers have a full-fledged Pulse tool for visual programming in TypeScript. This line first appeared in the Dota 2 update with a new character called Ringmaster. But the problem is that it is not used in any way in Dota or other Valve games. Minigames with fishing and fight clubs use a completely different type called UI back.
Wait, they added fishing to Dota?
Is that it is not used in any way in...
Or there's no way they got fishing in Dota before we got anti-cheat in CS. Why does CS not have fishing, bro? Can we get a web fishing mod? Guys, is this so much to ask for? Just a little bit of fishing on Anubis? I don't think so. I think that this is completely possible.
In Dota or other Valve games. Minigames with fishing and fight clubs use a completely different
type. Oh wait, we do have fishing. QR codes. Having every single marketplace and trading site have a scam link at the very top of Google because they buy the ads. We do have phishing, never mind.
Type called UI background, that is something that can work directly in the Panorama UI interface, like a built-in window. For example, in CS2 the same type is used for all backgrounds in the main menu, weapon inspections and preview screen in settings. The only reasonable explanation why devs need a completely new map type is to create exceptions in the engine. For example, if in the main game and modes there are some restrictions on various mechanics or actions, then when the minigame mode is activated, these restrictions disappear and the developers give map creators more freedom and access to more functions. Such improvements will greatly help modders like Lily, who rolls out new minigames almost every week using the current hacks or workarounds of mapping.
Right.
Ultimately, it would be great to see some kind of the arcade mode from Dota where you can create completely unique games without any restrictions. By the way, custom games in Dota use the standard map type, not the new one. Immediately after the release of Counter-Strike 2, scripts for the official surf mode and bot training aim maps appeared in the files. In theory, this may be related to Deadlock, which is also interesting. However, it is still in the
Guys, are they adding surfing to Deadlock?
early alpha, and adding such functionality, not to mention the tools, seems a bit too early.
They could do
the first
community
mentions of
servers on
keychains for
Deadlock.
CSGO appeared in 2017 when the names of 6 models were leaked: a K-47, Banana, Bloodhound, Grenade, Plasma Ball, and Sugar.
Wait. Keychains, AK-47. Okay, AK-47, obviously. This one. Banana, that has to be this one. Bloodhound. Which one is Bloodhound? That makes sense, though. Like, why wouldn't they just call it the Howl? Grenade. Okay, that's not... That one doesn't exist. There is no grenade. I also don't think that this is the Bloodhound. Wait, so they're possibly also working on grenade charms? Or it just didn't make it into this collection? Would have been nice. And we also have Plasma Ball. I'm not really too sure what its new ones. Yeah, but they tested this. Plasma Ball, I don't think that's one of them. And then Sugar Skull. I don't think that we have Sugar Skull. Okay. You think we getting team charms at Major together with sticker capsules? It would kind of only make sense, right? Adding in completely new charms. Like, why wouldn't they be cooking for the Major? Very similar to how they do it in Valorant. Like, Sentinels, they won the Major. Boom, you can get the Major charm. Or you buy their Major winning skin and then it has the charm on it. It kind of makes sense. Like, Na'Vi make it to the top. Sorry, Na'Vi get into the Major. The Drillers get into the Major. You have their logo on the very end of the charm. Or just hanging off of this right here. That would be kind of cool. And then there's also like the CCP charm. The China propaganda charm. Like that could be cool. Not gonna lie.
Skull. But in the end we received only 2 of them, and even then one is not a banana, just some kind of sausage. Based on this we can assume what other options we can see in the future. Jamesry Gregory noticed that there are 3 unreleased skins in each new collection.
Whoa, I didn't see it. Oh, hold on. I didn't see about this. Let me look. Here, okay. I don't know if this has been mentioned before, but there are 3 unreleased skins for each of the new collections in the game files. Unfortunately, only 2 of them can actually be viewed. Oh, I thought there was going to be more. Paint over red and HY overpass tag dark. I enjoy the USP and I enjoy the M4. Like, I don't think I would use either of them, but I think that they're both fine.
And it's kinda strange, since previous collections had 19 skins, when these have only 16, so maybe we will see them in the future. He also showed an interesting concept of how keychains might look on knives. And it seems like a really good idea, since we see melee weapons much more often than skins. Speaking of keychains, I'm almost sure that the developers have prepared some sort of team keychains for one of the following majors. They don't really need to model each logo.
I don't like that. I hope that it's not done like this. I hope that it's fit to the model of each logo. If they just copy pasted, well, actually maybe that's the only way that it would work. You have a different shape of the keychain. So if it's like China, it would be like a star, right? And then it hangs from the star. And then you just put the different teams on it. I feel like that makes the most sense. Because guys, if they did the Na'Vi logo, so this logo just hanging right here, Then what if they get into the next major and then they have to do the same logo again? Then it's the same charm. Am I right or am I right? You think the intern can code new things? Lol. I mean, yeah, I guess. It has to be the same designs as stickers. Either that or tags like this one with different image inside. Because we have to have them every major and they're not going to make new models every 6 months. Listen. If the dev has the wherewithal to make a completely new model every single major, that would be so sick. So basically, this thing changes every single major. Then I'm okay with it just being like copy-pasted image. If it's just going to be the logo, like that's also, I'm fine with that. But how is that going to work one major from another? Like, will it be the charm hanging, like this thing hanging down, differentiating them? I don't know. It would be hard, but I doubt they'll do that. Yeah, but it would be cool though. Like if that's how they decided to do it. And also, I saw someone said, but how are they going to differentiate between the hollows and regulars? I don't think that there will be hollows for chains, for keychains. I think that it'll probably just be the one, like a super silvery metallic keychain, similar to like a dog tag from War. I think that's why he went with the dog tag here. So it's like, yeah, our squadron went to war. Yeah, hoorah. And then it'll have their logo on it. It'll be different borders like stickers. I hope so. I mean, this is even assuming that we get charms for the major. I hope that they would do it like that. Imagine it's actual players looking like little sausage guys. Oh my god. Guys, imagine simple. Imagine JL as a little sausage dude. You have to think about how much work that would be. Because guys, how many pros are making it into the major? Or how many teams are making it into the major? It's 24, right? So 24 times 5. Let me pull out a calc. 24 times 5. That's 120 pro players. You really think that the CS2 dev is going to do that much work? Oh, but it'd be so cool if it had them as little guys, and then like maybe in their hands they get to decide one or two things that like represent how they play or like how they're feeling. So like if you use a certain color scheme, like their headband is that color. Like if they really like hand warmers, they have hand warmers in their hand. Bro, okay, I need to stop thinking about this because I'm getting my hopes way too high up. Okay. This will never happen. This will never happen. That would literally make CS have the best pro player items of all time. But they wouldn't do that. But at least once would be so cool. Bro, I think we're cooking here. Or what they're probably going to do, because this is the least amount of work, just adding in a charm for the winner of the major, right? So like if Na'Vi win the major, then it's just one charm that they have to make. I think that makes the most sense. And then maybe they also make player charms, because then it would only have to be 5. But again, it's a lot of work to make the players into charms. If anything, the major winner will probably get a charm. That's my opinion.
From scratch, and they can simply use a pre-created metal plate to which custom material will be applied. It is important to note that the developers were preparing much more content for this update but released only what was ready. I suppose this was due to the massive outrage of the community. And you can see that immediately after, alone break fixes began to come out every few days. Based on what different people told me, we should have seen a small rotation of community maps and several full remakes of official maps. We will talk about them a little later. In addition, there should have been new patches for agents and a pack of graffiti. I think many were surprised that...
Let me hear that again. What did he just say?
There should have been new patches for agents and a pack of graffiti. I think...
So, he's alleging... in the files or somehow through some source of communication, there should have been new patches and there should have been a graffiti pack. I'm NGL, not gonna lie. I was so surprised when there wasn't graffitis in this update. Because to me, this feels like it was an overpass skin collection update. Like the Armory, the stickers feel very overpass-esque. Like for example, this. For example, this. This feels very overpassy. This feels very overpassy. Like, they're all kind of Overpass related, right? And then, of course, the one collection that actually has to do with the map, bang. And Overpass, the whole idea is it's the trains that are graffitied up, that are tagged. I was so surprised when there wasn't a graffiti pack. But, I guess they didn't want to or weren't ready or something. Because that would have been the first time graffitis from the community would have probably been added from the workshop.
I think many were surprised that we did not see any hint of new agents, but I have a simple explanation. With the keychain leaks, we regularly saw lines related to cosmetic clothing elements. And as I have repeatedly said in previous videos, apparently we will be able to customize our own character from different clothing elements. This mechanic has already been used in Counter-Strike Online 2, from which devs quite often took various ideas. And let's not forget that in the official concepts, the very first type of monetization was in the form of clothing. In addition to this, something strange is happening with chickens. We have already discussed pets, but the developers continue to work on some kind of chicken system. In the update with new animations for chickens, there are strange animation sequences for picking up and squeezing chickens. The best showcase was made by a dude named Pop Wow. Pets already exist as a full-fledged part of the loadout, similar to a knife, gloves, graffiti, a set of music, or an agent. And finally, map remakes. We already knew about a full-fledged remake of Cobblestone in the winter style, but in past updates there were hints of a train remake. We already saw footage with an improved version, but a year has passed and there is nothing. Judging by the initial finds, the style of the map can change significantly. The soundscapes clearly mention rain and storm. A new blend material for simplified creation of the wet surfaces has appeared in the tools. All sorts of lines related to rain rendering and shaders regularly appear in the engine strings, and a graffiti with an abbreviation like Die AF or Die in the Fire 2024 has appeared in the decals. Additionally, according to my info, we should see Lake and some maps for the arms race. It might be Lake itself though. Leave a comment with a brick emoji if you watched this far and check out the previous video in which I'm going.
Cobble remake? Allegedly still in the works. Train got revealed a year ago. Still haven't seen it in the game, but there's like thunder soundscape, graffitis being added and whatnot. Also, he talks about Cobble. And then, finally, we have Cash. FM Pone is now posting about Cash basically every other week. So it looks like him and his team have basically finished T-Spawn. T-Spawn, this part over here. We got the truck part of A from CT spawn, and then the tire on the left side. If you spawn at B side looking towards mid, the left side is now also complete. They're making great progress. Let's just say that. Do we get Cash by the end of the year? No. I think it's going to be added into the game after the China update. It'll probably off the bat be added as a competitive map. So here, I think basically directly after the China major, it'll be added here, at least to one of these. And then after it's playtested a little bit, all of the bugs are kicked out. I think that it'll get added to the actual map pool. For real. Like, I think Cash is going to get added back. It only makes sense, right? Like, they have a couple bad maps in the pool right now. Let's say them all together. Just 2. Ancient. And that's it. So they're going to get rid of those 2. Probably add in Cash. Probably add in Train. If I had to guess. Why are you saying Vertigo, bro? Check this out. Guys, this is what could be if the Valve dev decides to not be lazy. I mean, obviously, it'd be nice if it was for every single player. But at the bare minimum, we would take it for just the winners. So if a Dupree wins, if a Zywoo wins, if a Monizy wins the major, his face and then his teammates' faces, and then strap it onto a jersey. Like, is that so much to ask for? Just 5 dudes? Just 5 dudes for us to be able to place anywhere on our skins? Make sure to subscribe.